Okay, sorry for the waiting and sorry for the technical issues here. Feel free to put questions on the chat. Alexandra, my colleague from our marketing team, will take the question and we will go over it at the end. My name is Tiberiu Socaci. I'm the founder of Makeitfuture, and we will discuss today um, about a few topics around how to use AI agents, how to use AI agents in sales, and how to use specifically for reporting connected to CRMs and so on. Just to give you a short of update about me, just to know why I'm here. I'm the co-founder of Makeitfuture. I spent the last 7 years doing automation, doing no code development, and in the last 3 years, very focused on um, AI and AI agents. But I also have around 10 years of experience in sales in my previous role. So that's why this sales webinar. Um, okay, so first of all, when working with AI agents, there's three different ways to use AI. Okay, so the first level, think about that as instant prediction level. Okay, so you send a message towards a application like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. You select a model that's very fast, and you will get an answer instantly. Okay, so that's kind of the first level, very fast, but also not so good. The success rate is small. Level two is when reasoning was introduced about 7 months ago, um, where the AI goes over the same uh, question multiple times. It reasons over the answer that it gets. By doing that, it simulates a bit what we do as humans, and we get a much better answer. And then the most advanced part, it's agentic harness, which are tools specifically built, let's call it software built to get the best out of AI. Okay, so think about these tools like Claude Code, OpenAI Codex, Hermes agent, OpenClaw, and a few others on the market. But these tools have a better logic and review more the result of the LLM. That costs a lot more, so the cost multiplier goes 20 to even 100 times more in terms of LLM. But the success rate, it's over 70, 80%. Okay, and it requires a lot less human intervention if the prompting is done in a good manner. And this is also one of the key topics, or one of the key things that improved in the last 2-3 months is agent skills. Okay, the the way we can start using AI, or the way we can transfer the knowledge that we have uh, in our business or personally, is by creating a procedure for that AI. Once the AI can understand very well the procedure, it can replicate uh, that process, and you're getting a much better result over time as you improve that skill. Okay, so compare that skill to an instruction book, process book, or a cookbook. For you have a recipe, you follow the recipe, it should work in a good manner. Once you've done a few times that recipe, if you have some small improvements, you can improve the recipe, and the better you improve the recipe, the better the result will be. Okay. There are two types of skills when you think about skills. There's capability uplift and encoded preference. Okay, so think about capability uplift as ways of filling out documents, ways of working with specific files like Excel files, like Word documents, like how to create presentations, how to use your Gmail, or how to use your Outlook, how to connect to your CRM and things like that. This will, over time, the tools will get better, so the AI will get better, so it will kind of have that knowledge over time. So at some point, these type of skills will not be relevant anymore. But the skills related to encoded preference, the way you want to create a report, the way you want to create a proposal, that's the preference of your process. That's the preference of your business, right? So that will never change. So that's where the value will be over time. So focus more on using capability skills that are available online, and put more focus on creating your own skills where you encode your own preference and you have the skills necessary for your business. I'm going to go over a few demos on this so you will really understand how you can create by yourself those kind of skills. Okay, so for today, I'm gonna go over how to few use cases, how to create proposals, how to use data that you have in different systems and update like a CRM, but it can be used for any kind of data relation. Do some reports, and even if we get the time, retarget some CRM leads in your CRM. Okay. So I'll go directly into a demo. Feel free to send questions as we go on this demo if you have questions. Alexandra, I don't know exactly if you can open also the audio, but feel free to open it if we can on this platform. And I'll try to part of this to be interactive, and part of this will be using some already done conversation as to make it a bit quicker. Okay. So I didn't cover that, but when we started this before we started this automation business, we used to have a coffee subscription business, a coffee roastery in Romania, which we, by the way, we still have. It's called Blue Coffee. That's where we started automating some processes. So I will use Blue Coffee as one of the examples for today to avoid any kind of I don't showing private information during this session. Okay, so first, I'm looking to create maybe a report from my Slack community. So one of these days, I wanted to check for Makeitfuture. What are all the different conversations in our Slack? It could be also, you can do that in Teams as well. But practically, how could you go check for the messages for like the last 2-3 months, and then see on those messages if there's any new opportunities that we forgot to put in our CRM and nobody's following up and things like that. Okay, so I'll do a very similar use case here. I'll ask the AI to go and search my Slack for any conversations related to Blue Coffee. Okay, so by the way, in order to in this demo, I'm using Claude Code. That's my preference. I sometimes work with Codex as well, but choose the agent that you prefer. At the same time, in order for all this to work, you need to ensure that the agent that you're using has access towards the different tools that you need to use. Okay. In other words, we connect these tools. We connect the agent to the different tools. Like in this case, Slack. It's connected over MCP, which is a model context protocol, a protocol for agents to talk with different tools. You can also use command line interfaces to connect to these kind of tools. We'll send after this webinar. We will send a document that will show you, okay, how you can do some of this and some resources towards YouTube or some other sources where you can do this yourself. Okay, so in this case, I have already an MCP connected to my Slack. I can even test that if I want. Do you have access to my Slack? I'm using here bypass permissions because I know exactly what I'm doing. If you don't know exactly what you're doing, use first plan mode. Make sure you know and define, okay, what you want to do, and then click on acceptance or ask for permissions. Okay, go to search. Actually, I have a search Slack for all channels from my Slack related to Blue Coffee. Okay. I will say here, just to avoid some information, hide any confidential information from the report. Okay, so when I say that, the AI agent right now will go to my Slack This could be Teams, this could be Gmail, this could be any kind of tools for communication, and it's checking that information and coming back to it with it. It will take few seconds to do this as it searches. The important part about this process is the first time you do it, it will not be perfect. It might ask you follow-up questions. It might ask you which tools to use. It might ask you how to search, which channels you're interested, and so on. Okay, so now I have uh, a report. I could say, okay, create a report for me as a as a markdown file. Okay, so I will get this file. By the way, very important is to select as well what's the folder you're working on if you want to work on different folders for different projects. Okay, so this is a very simple prompt that I've done here. Now, based on this report, I could say, okay, create a skill that does every week, every day, or every week, this action. Okay, and then the AI will create this skill for us, and we can then create a follow-up, a task, a recurring task to do this. Okay, again, this is a very simple one. When we go to the proposal, I'll show you a more advanced one. Okay, but practically now we're launching what's called the skill creator, and in that skill, it will just follow the process that we've done here, which is a very simple one. Okay, so let's make this a bit more. Let me show you how a skill really works. Right, so if I go uh, to Blue Coffee before a bit earlier today, I wanted to create a price list, okay, for Blue Coffee. So we create a code for it during this webinar. So I said, okay, go fetch the products and create this product list for Blue Coffee. So it started, it went, it get me some initial products. Then I had to tell him, okay, make sure you have all the price per quantity, all the available types, and so on. So there was a back and forth uh, for this discussion. All this back and forth resulted in a price list that I was happy with. Once I was happy with it, I said, okay, create me a file. So then it created me a file. And after that, I said, okay, create me a skill for that. Okay, so by doing this, now I have a skill that really can update itself every time I need to update that based on the Blue Coffee website. Okay, that's again a very simple use case. But now if I come here and say, okay, I want to work into the Blue Coffee workspace, and I say, okay, update my price list, it will use exactly the references of that skill. Okay, so if you want to go and see a bit what's inside that skill, we can see exactly, okay, every time when this skill should be used, what is the file that it will be generated, how to locate the file, how to read the current one, what is the data that needs to be extracted. You do not need to know any of this, okay? This, generally speaking, this is plain text. From your perspective, all the different details that's added here are added by the AI. So now if we go back, yeah, it asks me, okay, okay, update everything. So I will use this file. I just wanted to show, okay, how the skill is used, right? So it got the skill, it got the details that it needs to do, and then it will go and fetch automatically without asking me uh, exactly how to do it and all the other questions that were leveraged the previous time. Okay, so with this, let's go and create maybe a proposal for Blue Coffee. So to show you how would you do a proposal. I need to create a proposal. Here is an attached RFQ from a customer. Okay, think about the more information you give to the AI, the easier the AI can help you fulfill that. Okay, so in this case, I prepared for today an RFQ. Document somewhere, a request for a quotation. Um, so I can attach that to the request somewhere. I should have it. Okay, I don't know where it is, but okay, let's say I need coffee. I need coffee for an event of 3,000 people for next week. Can you help us with an offer? Okay, so it could be an email with a very simple request like that. Okay. So if I don't have a specific skill for this, which I don't have it yet, it will try to do whatever it thinks. The more detail I give it, the better it will do. So now it will go and check the pricing, which it will be used inside this. And then the more details I will give it to it, okay? So let's say I want a proper structure, right? So I have a template inside the company with that structure. So let's say I have proposal structure would be an introduction, why blue coffee. I want maybe selection of roast levels, price, estimate, and I don't know, recommend me what to add else. Okay, so based on the information I already have there in the folder, so I have the price list and I also have a brand and a sales guideline. Let me show you that file. Maybe it's interesting for you to see it. So I already asked the AI to go and fetch this information in case from the website, just to see, okay, why blue coffee? Why should people buy? Proposal knowledge, some creating quotation for B2B, what are the discounts that we use, and so on. The better this knowledge is, the better that quotation will be created. Okay, so I would say, I don't know, beans only in this case. Premium, it will be a PDF at the end. Let's discuss this later. So based on this and all this back and forth, we will define exactly how we want the proposal to look like. We will define exactly what the prices should be. We will look at the estimation edit. Okay, for 2 cups per person, 10 grams per cup. So we need about 60 kilos. For this range, we have a discount that we can apply and so on. All these kind of rules need to be inside that knowledge. You create it over time. Don't expect to create that from the start. You can extract that from existing quotations, but by applying this kind of a knowledge behind it, it will know how to do the quotation. Once you do all this, okay, generate the quotation initially as draft in an MD file. MD, I'm using MD, that's a markdown file. That's a format easy for AI to use, and it's a format that's easy also for us to understand and to edit. Okay, so here I have a markdown editor on the left side. You have the markdown, and it's easy to edit, and then it's shown as a nice output on the other side. And this is also one of the easiest way for AI to work on files directly. Okay, so then I say that's fine. Okay, generate it. Okay, so I did here. Bit, let's open that one. Proposals. So you can see it's here, already created. So then I can see it here with the details I wanted. I'm not going to go more in details about how to change that. You just need to go back and forth with the AI and ensure you get the result that you wanted. I said here, if you say something that should not be okay, you just click the stop button. Okay. So now I do have a skill in the back for Makeitfuture. So I will use the Makeitfuture skill to generate this PDF. So I would say, okay, generate this PDF with Makeitfuture brand skill as an example. So then it will generate this based on the Makeitfuture brand. And after that, I can also say, hey, maybe let's create a new brand skill for Blue Coffee. Go check the colors on the internet for Blue Coffee, check the logo and so on, and then it will create me a skill for Makeitfuture. And I do recommend all of you, when you work with AI and you need to generate documents, create a skill that really shows, okay, what is how those brands should look like, how those proposals, documents, website, pictures, and so on that you generate should always look the same. So then you get that automatically from the AI. I'm going to show you how that looks like. So here's the skill for Makeitfuture brand. Inside the skill, it just says, okay, how the logo should look like. There's a reference file for the logo. What are the different colors? What are the different typography and so on? How this should look like. Okay, and then how a presentation layout should be, how an HTML form should be, and some things associated with that, as an example. So with this, it will take maybe a few seconds to or a minute to generate. Are there any questions meanwhile? So the everything I'm showing works on the Pro plan. I'm on the Max plan, but everything that I'm showing works as well on the Pro plan for Claude. Everything that I'm showing works as well on the Codex normal plan as well, like, I don't know, 20 euros plan. The only difference is how many tokens you get out of these tools. It takes a bit more because I have here the a tool that's also verifying, validating that output, so it will take a bit of time. My preference, there's another question, do you use this UI or VS Code where the real work happens? I sometimes use the Cloud Code application, but some other times I do prefer using I use anti-gravity as a preference, but it can be whichever IDE you prefer to work with, just because I have Okay, can everybody still hear me? Yes, okay, thank you. So this was the AI fault, okay? But Claude closed. I had this Chrome instance here, and Claude tried to open this verification of this in the same session. So it practically started verifying this, and then it closed my webinar connection. Sorry for that. Okay, so practically we got here. You see a nice quotation, but it's using a branding that's not really for blue coffee, right? So now let's say I like kind of the same style. I could say, hey, um, create another brand similar to blue coffee. I'm not going to do that, but what I'm going to do right now is say, okay, following the same process, following what we learned, out of this out of this process, use skill creator and create a blue coffee quotation skill. Okay, this is very important. Every time you do a process that's with more details, if you create that skill, it will use the knowledge inside that conversation and create that skill. Next time you use the skill, you will tell it again, hey, based on the feedback I gave you this session, update that skill. And every time you do that, you will get better and better and better skills for doing these processes. There's also an evaluation process. So this skill creator has an evaluation process. So you can, for example, give it 50 different inputs as 50 different quotations you want to create, get an output from the AI. And if you have those quotations already created, you can compare it with those. So by doing that, you could create a loop for automatically updating the skill and get a better result over and over again. Okay, to show you one last use case around reporting, I'm going to go back to another session. I will say, okay, go to my Gmail and search. I have the search for my Gmail here. Okay, so I'm going to search inside Gmail for all the orders from Blue Coffee. They have a certain subject and give me a report for the last 2 weeks, just as an idea. Okay, don't include any sensitive. Again, we're on a webinar. I will close this. By doing this, it will connect to my okay. So it's looking for, you see, it's looking for Composers, looking for HubSpot, is looking for Gmail. Doesn't really know I have Gmail. Okay, so it's like, okay, where's your Gmail? It's gonna tell me you don't need Gmail. Okay, but I do have Gmail. Okay, so because I have it as a CLI, a command line interface, I would say I have Google CLI. Please use that. So it will now identify the CLI. It will use the CLI and do this report for me. Once I have a report, I can do something with it. Okay, for example, I can say, hey, go to HubSpot and check if all those orders are inside HubSpot. So let's see if this works. So there's a process. It tries different things, again, because it doesn't really know exactly what to do. It will try different things that should work. It will figure it out, and then it will give me a report. And that's where the skill actually helps it, right? Because next time, if we have a skill for this, it will know exactly what it needs to run, so it doesn't need to do all these tries, which will reduce the number of tokens that you use, and it also give you a much faster access towards the a much faster response from the AI because you know exactly what it needs to do. So hopefully we get the response very soon. Okay, so here we have some coffees with some orders. So now let's say, okay, can you check if these orders are inside the HubSpot CRM on the, I will use the flow grammar pipeline. If not there, create it. Okay, so by doing this, I get the report from one side, I'm checking if the information is on the other side, and I update it. Okay, that's not I don't use that as a normal process to sync information from one side to another, maybe not very effective. Better to have an automation in place that always synchronize your new orders. But if you have information, uh, I did this for, like I said, for my Slack, search for like the last 6 months of activities on Slack, went and update all the different deals with the relevant messages and information that we've discussed over internally for the last few months. Doing that from time to time, identifying missing information that maybe it's not part of like an e-commerce and so on, right? So then it went there, it checked, and it found that, hey, 5 of those were there, and we created 2 new ones. Okay, and by doing that, probably I saved some time if I would have to check that manually. Now, because I know exactly the process again, create the skill for blue coffee orders, email check, or whatever. So again, we're getting a skill, and then all those skills live within Claude. Okay. So now for 1 second, I'm going to go back to my presentation. Any questions? Any other questions so far for this process? Was I clear enough for people to understand how to use this and how to really transfer the knowledge from your business towards Claude? Okay. Okay, so back to my presentation for just 1 sec. So this is how you use Claude and how you use skills to really enhance the process that you do inside your company. Okay, but we also see a path towards applications that are a bit more specialized. So this is what you're seeing here. It's a skill and the skill sections of a quotation tool that we use internally at Makeitfuture. When we first created the skill for Claude to help us generate quotations, someone might say, okay, but can we have a better interface for doing that? Is there a better way for doing that? Because it's a bit hard to just work in a chat window. So that based on that, we've looked at, okay, how can we work with Claude, but at the same time work with a better interface around that. So that's how we got to this self-evolving application concept. Practically, we have on the right side, we have Claude. This is running a Claude terminal instance. So it's running exactly the same Claude with exactly the same skills, with exactly the same access towards doing web search, towards connecting to tools like Slack, HubSpot, and so on. So we have exactly the same Claude running here on a computer, or it could be on a VPS. But we have a specialized interface on the left side where we have an interface created, in this case, for a proposal generator. And the advantage of this is we can control better the process and the experience with that. Let me try to show you how that looks like. So this is running on my own computer right now. So practically I have an application. This application, it spins off on the back a session of Claude. Could be Gemini as well, but in this case we're using Claude. I give it full access and streaming. So then I'm using a skill runner, so I'm running the proposal generator. But in this case, I have a proposal flow. I do not need to know directly in the in the skill what to say and how to say it, and exactly what are the details I need to provide and so on. All that is managed by the skill and by the application. So I say, okay, I want a new proposal. So I have an app. Okay, it's asking me, okay, let's do a blue coffee automation proposal. Okay. I have a way to upload files. So for example, I prepare for this a blue coffee, some documents related to a discovery meeting and some related to an RFQ, which are some docs. I'll send it there. We can see that Claude is running in the back. So now it's analyzing these files. I'll show you how the file looks like just for your reference. So that's the request for quotation for an e-commerce automation customer support. So I have, okay, some introduction here, automate or unify order from Shopify to HubSpot, processing inbounds, invoices, build an automated customer journey to send notifications, engagement, so on, and AI customer support agent. So just a few things that I thought about, okay, what would be nice for Blue Coffee to have, and some of the things we already have for Blue Coffee. By the way, if you go to our website, we do have the customer journey is all automated, the process is all automated towards our different CRMs and so on, an AI in place to support customers and so on. And I simulated a discussion between somebody, two person inside the company, and getting more details. And that's kind of the process we use on a daily basis at Makeitfuture. Every time we create a proposal, we download the transcripts from meetings agents like MeetGeek or Fireflies. We also get information from the customers, like the documents. We upload that, and with that, we start creating a quotation, right? So with this, we get, okay, an extract from those documents, a brief extract. It automatically fills some information that we want to fill. I want this to be in English or Romanian. What is the complexity and so on? Doesn't really important right now. The idea is that we have a structured interface. Then we start creating, based on these files and this interface, we will start creating the proposal. Again, the task runs in the back. Claude is using the same skills that we're using inside Claude, but it's just started in an interface dedicated for like a proposal creation in this case. This could be any kind of application where you think you can work in parallel between a nice interface and a chat that will influence that interface. For example, we have a similar interface, a similar application internally for doing like time tracking and assigning that time tracking inside Makeitfuture towards different tasks. So monitoring practically what we do on the computer and then assigning that task towards different projects, different tasks inside our time tracking system. Takes a bit of time until it reads and starts building that task list. But soon we will get the next interface with the sections and with the content started to generate. Okay, so practically, again, these sections here, we have 24 sections that we need to generate. All these are coming directly from the skill. If I update the skill with different sections that I want, these sections will automatically get updated here. And now Claude is starting to generate the information coming from for this quotation. Okay, so now I'm starting with the current state of business, which is actually the section 3. I have an order for generating it, and then I have a different order that will be bundled inside the quotation. So that's why this is first section to generate, but it's the number 3 in the document. So let's say I do not want something like, I don't know, supplier communication to be here because it was not identified correctly. I have a mechanism where I can highlight that and say, okay, remove this section. Okay, add feedback. And I will go and say, hey, make this, explain this better. Add some references to similar work we did. I don't know. So I can work now in a more controlled manner. I can give more feedback related to everything that I want. And then once I'm happy with it, I can send it to Claude. Claude will regenerate that section. Then once that's regenerated, I'm happy with it. I approve it and go to the next section. If I want to jump from a different section to another, I can just use the tab, which in our opinion results in a lot in application much better than just using the chat directly. We could do this directly in the chat, but in this case, you have a better interface. You have a better way to control the way it works. Okay, so when I'm happy with that, I will click approve and it goes to the next section and it will start generating the next section and so on. So this gives an application that is really created for creating quotations. Once it's done, I can synchronize from this application towards HubSpot or synchronize towards the different storages, CRM, ERPs, or the different systems that need to have access to this data. Okay. Any questions related to this part? So yeah, that's a great question. How often do we act, and when exactly do we opt for creating a workflow in N8N or Make versus using MCP CLI skills? I think if we're connecting to processes, so let's say we are connecting um, Shopify orders from Blue Coffee, and we need every order to go to our CRM. That's definitely a process that needs to be automated. There's no real value in doing that with an AI on a daily basis or on an hourly basis, where you go search for new orders and then you create those. It will be too expensive. It will not really make sense um, to do that with AI. So connecting processes together 100% using automation, Make, N8N. If there is I would say next level would be, okay, you need some AI to take some decisions into that process. That's where you apply some AI inside the process itself. So maybe an API call towards OpenAI or Claude to take a decision on that process and uh, move to the next step. Level 3, I would say, using the agents inside the systems like Make, like N8N, where you have an agent that has access maybe to few MCPs or to few other scenarios and take some research and decide and do it. And this kind of process will use, like I said, maybe 3-5 times more LLM versus like a simple API call. And then if we have a process where we cannot, it's always human driven. It's always um, the agent would have to access multiple tools, figure out how to do it, being able to extract data from files, being able to execute code and things like that. For me, that would be then a clear indication for a Claude, for a harness system, Claude Code Codex system that has access uh, to really execute and be able to do that. But it will also consume a lot more tokens. So depending on that process, we really need to determine, okay, what is the best way to implement that process. So yeah, also to answer the last question, yes, I don't think we're slowly abandoning the classic no-code automation. I think the future is in using Claude or Codex to create also the workflows in Make and N8N. I don't think it's really 100% there yet, but it's getting better. But having the control over seeing that process inside Make or N8N um, gives few advantages, like seeing the log, seeing what happened, being able to control it and modify it in an easy way, versus having it just run somewhere back into an AI, which is again probably 100 times more expensive than just using a workflow automation platform. Okay, few resources here. You can learn more about these self-evolving apps on our website. So we have a self-evolving.app website where you can go see a bit more about, okay, this new concept that we're pushing here. There's also a skill there that you can download for creating similar apps. And also, if you work with multiple agents, you might use multiple Claude, Codex, Gemini on your own. We have also a AI Agent Manager application that we built, which allows you to install, backup, synchronize from GitHub, uh, cross-reference skills through multiple agents on the same website. Okay, just check for the AI Agent Manager application there and download it, and then feel free to give us feedback on that. Okay, few final notes here. Um, Always use the skill creator to create skills. Always reference that skill creator to create multiple files. Try to keep the initial skill file as small as possible, uh, and improve that skill every time you use it. Every time you create something with it, improve that skill, and that skill will improve the process that you're trying to work with AI. And test whenever you have something that you can test with evaluations automatically. Test that automatically, and it will improve by itself. Okay, so that's kind of it for today. Maybe one last slide about Makeitfuture, who we are. So we are a team. We are based in Cluj. We are the winners of the AI Partner of the Year for Make for last year, and the South Europe Partner 2 years ago. I think we are the biggest AI agency in Europe in terms of Make and A10 and this kind of AI development. And we work with a lot of different customers within, mainly in Europe, but as well in Romania. So if anyone needs support from us, don't hesitate to contact us to help you build similar application, or even set up Claude, Codex, or other agents for you within the business, or train your employees on how to use these tools inside your companies. Okay, thanks for joining, and looking forward to see you on our next calls. We're going to do a few more webinars going over HR processes, legal processes, operational processes, and so on. We'll try to take examples for every most of the project that we did internally, and try to share it with everyone, so you get the chance to learn in different sections of the business. Thank you. We'll send at the end. We'll send a review form. Please take 1-2 minutes to go over that review form and tell us what you like, what you didn't like, and also what else you would like to learn from us going forward. I forgot to put it here, but join our Flow Grammar community, especially if you're from Romania. We are doing events across Romania. It's free. You get information from us, you get resources from us, and you get the chance to participate to our events, to hear us and hear some of our partners and community members sharing knowledge and sharing experience from learning and using AI.